you're about to open up your book and show us a section. Remind us of the book's title.
So the book is titled The Oldest Recipe in the Book, Oh, for the Love of Scones. So as I was mentioning, the breakfast section, the first section is about this female, all this sort of things. That's why it's called The Oldest Recipe in the Book. It's sort of like an old age story, really, women trying to get married, or not always, these days not so much, but often it can be like that, wanting to settle down with a mate. And so in the dating section, I mean, this is just a little bit, it says, adding pressure to a dream, all her friends and family have begun to constantly remind her that if she didn't get a move on soon, it would be too late. You see, at a certain point in her life, a woman finds herself with, and then it's got the ... and you turn the page and it's got scrambled eggs, So obviously you kind of like, that's the idea. And then it moves on to the husband section, and it's the same idea of these little ... and turning the page to a recipe.
Oh, very creative.
That's how it started, and it's got the whole story. And then the last section, which is the dessert section, is about motherhood. And I've talked to a lot of my female friends with their kids, and they told me all the the things that they struggle with and how delightful it is, but also that it comes with its pressures as well. So yeah, it's just meant to be a fun take on marriage and love. And the next book out is the husband side of the story, so it's going to be a cocktail book. So yeah, it'll be a 6-part series, and just tongue-in-cheek fun.
Yeah, great. So obviously, it's taken a long while, and you're still working it all out. But people warmed to the book right away. You're selling some copies that's kept you going.
Yeah. So far, it's done really well. Better than I expected. But I like I said, I'm really done nothing from the marketing point, and that's something that I hope to do so much more with this year and next. Obviously, that's a big part of publishing these days. So I've got to get better at that.
Yes.
I like to kind of cram it away.
There is a particular photo in there with a car and an older gentleman, have a retro car, which fits it quite well. Yes. Tell us about how that photo in particular came about, because it is an interesting story.
I mean, the photography, I've got it here, actually. I'll hold it up. It's this car here. That's me, my husband that I hired off a website, and that is a pillow. Inside the blanket, there's a pillow. It's not actually a real baby. Some of the shots in there, I am holding a real baby, but that one, my niece is actually in the photos. But yeah, so the photography was interesting because I had no idea how I was going to do this. And the very first photo, I'll just quickly, anyway, the first photo, which is here with these are all my friends. So back when she's working in her working days, basically I was doing some house sitting down in Melbourne to go visit one of my nieces who'd just been born. And while I was there, I just went, this beautiful house, like it was old vintage. It also had like an original 60s kitchen and bathroom and everything. And I thought this would be a perfect place. So I contacted the owner and said, do you mind if I use your place? And the next thing I know, I was contacting my friends and getting them round. And I think I went on Gumtree and found a suitcase full of clothing and dragged it. I didn't have a car with me. So across, I don't know how many suburbs back to where I was staying, and did that photos. And then the car was one. I was like, oh, now I need a husband. I need to find someone to play the husband. So as I said, I found him online. And then I had a photographer who was amazing, Robert Wagner, amazing photographer, so patient with all my antics, because this is basically describes the whole shoot. I was walking to the pub the day before. I wasn't actually going to the pub. I was going past the pub to go to an op shop to find some stuff to dress my husband, who I hoped would turn up the next day. And I saw this old car, the one that I showed you, the blue car, parked on the side of the road. And there was an old man sitting in the front of the car, and I knocked on the window and he wound it down. He's really sweet and his face was really ruddy. And I was like, this is someone who's had a few drinks today for sure. He sounded a little intoxicated. And I said to him, I go, I love your car. And he goes, oh, thanks, love. And I said, oh, I'm doing a photo shoot tomorrow. Would you mind your car being in the photo shoot? And he just looked at me and goes, yeah, of course. And I thought I just thought he was humoring me. I really didn't think he was being genuine. And then I said, do you want the address? And he goes, no, I'll remember it. Just tell me. And I said, no, I'll write it down. I think you need to write it down because you're clearly a few drinks in. He's slurring. And he goes, no, I'll remember. And so I told him the address. And off I went to the op shop, not expecting to see him at the time. I think it was 10 in the morning the next day. And we all kind of were standing out the front ready to take the photo, and this car starts putting down the road, and there, bless him, there he is. It was just so fun. And even in one of them, I won't look for it because it'll take me a while, but there's a spinning wheel in there. And I was staying in a different house sit, and I was walking down the street and I saw this spinning wheel because the lady where I was staying at crocheted everything. She had a bicycle covered with crochet. Everything was covered in crochet at her house. And that's why I loved it and wanted it in the book. And so once again, I was house sitting. And I was walking down the street and I saw a spinning wheel, and my photographer's like, "Where are you going?" Because I'm knocking on the door. And I'm like, "Do you mind if I borrow your spinning wheel?" The little elderly couple is like, "Yeah." So I'm marching down the street carrying my spinning wheel. That's how the book came about. And thank you, Melbourne, because they support like creatives down there. I think like as soon as you say you're working on a creative project, everyone's so supportive. I don't think I would have had that reception anywhere else, to be honest. So.
Thank you for watching this short clip of Life Bursts. You can like, subscribe, or follow for more, or head to rawcut.com.au.